Alright, folks, so Dragon Ball Super episode 66 is in the books. It's in the history books, and without a doubt, one of the most talked about episodes of Dragon Ball ever. I mean, I can't remember an episode being this talked about ever. Like, as far as Super goes, I just can't. You know, it's just one of those things where maybe 57, but I think 66 kind of surpassed it. So on this video, I'm going to go ahead and do my episode 67 preview. It's already been a few hours since the episode aired, 66, and I'm feeling a little weird about it. Like, you know, I woke up just feeling kind of strange. I did go ahead and rewatch the episode. I do feel a bit better about it as far as some of the issues I had, but I do feel, and I might do more videos on this during the week. I don't know if you guys would care. I hope you would, for me to do some more coverage on that episode and kind of dissect it a little bit more, you know, because the last review was more like a reaction than anything. I was just kind of, whoa, like kind of blown away. Now that I've had some time for it to settle down, maybe I'll go ahead and do like more of a dissection. But no, what I wanted to tell you guys was it's one of those things where I feel like, honestly, if they would have taken last night's episode, you know, 66, and cut it up into like 3 episodes and kind of done the whole Vegito thing for a whole episode and then built up the Trunks thing in one that had the big climax in the next, I probably would have liked it more. Just being honest, I think that I personally would have liked it more because the episode did seem a bit rushed. Other than that, it was, you know, it's got its issues, but anyway, that's not what we're talking about here, alright? At Dragon Ball Super 67, next week's episode, I got some Herm's translations here I'm going to get to in a moment from the magazine preview. I do believe that this will be probably the last episode of this arc. I hate to say goodbye to this arc. It started with episode 47, and now we're in 67, so that is 20 episodes. That's the longest arc in Dragon Ball Super, which is kind of funny considering that in Dragon Ball Z, the arcs there were like 70 to 90 episodes. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and go into this. And I'm going to go ahead and dissect the episode and give you guys my prediction. I've got a wacky prediction coming up that I really want to get you guys' thoughts on. I really want to. So I'll get to it here in a moment. Let's go ahead and hit play on this. Harry Price, YouTube. Alright, so we begin with the continuation of Zamasu being split in half. Trunks, that was an amazing slash. Right there we see it. Zamasu was blown away. Right there it looks like it's over. Now, before I move forward on this, I want to go back and show you guys something that I picked up on right here. Now notice these sparkly things. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and go to the preview here. And again, in case you didn't know, this is going to have minor spoilers for next week's episode, but I think you guys can figure that one out. Herms translated this from the Jump preview. So here's what it says. Episode's called Fill Your Heart with New Hope, Farewell Trunks. Will they be able to protect the future? The final battle with Zamasu. Powered by the hopes of humanity, Trunks strikes back at Zamasu. That already happened. But while Zamasu was supposed to be defeated, he instead loses his physical body and begins spreading out and covering the city. That's what I think this is right here, guys. I think what's happening is that Trunks managed to slice Zamasu in half and thus killing, he pretty much, because it's a fusion, he pretty much killed Zamasu's body because the body is still half mortal because, like we discovered in episode 66, Goku Black is mortal, Zamasu's immortal, and thus the body has to default to being half immortal, half mortal. But what I believe is happening, according to the preview, is that these little sparkly things right here, they might appear to be something like for effect, but this is in fact the essence or the spirit of Zamasu. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's what this is right here. As you can see right here, it says, you know, instead loses his physical body and begins to spread throughout and cover the city. So essentially, Zamasu, in a way, evolves into a being of pure matter, alright? This is some deep shit. We've never seen anything like this in Dragon Ball quite like this. And as a result of that, he hasn't been beaten yet. He's still, his physical body was beaten by the mortals, but now he's got some, like a, I guess you can call it like an astral body or an astral essence that still exists. Because, you know, he did wish for himself to be immortal with the Super Dragon Balls. Now, this right here, guys, changes our entire perspective of what immortality is. You know, when you go back to Dragon Ball Z, even though the Garlic Jr. saga is not part of the original manga and it was anime filler / a movie, it makes you wonder, okay? It does make you wonder. Could a more powerful Gohan, Piccolo, and those guys, could they have disintegrated Garlic Jr. and turned him into the same matter? Or is it something that Zamasu knows how to do because he's immortal? Maybe it wouldn't have worked out that way. The immortality in Dragon Ball, I suppose, is not true immortality. But again, this is also because of the fact that Zamasu fused with Black. Garlic Jr. didn't fuse with anybody else. See what I'm saying? So it probably wouldn't have even, he wouldn't even died. He wouldn't even been cut in half by Trunks. So this is the part everybody was fearing. Okay, I want to get into this real quick. Goku this week, finding the last ace up his sleeve to counter Zamasu. Now that Zamasu has lost his physical body, Goku and company are once more in dire straits. Just as all hope seems lost, Goku finds something in his pocket. Now, obviously what they're referring to when it comes to Goku finding something in his pocket is, of course, the button that was given to him by the Omni King. Now, a lot of people presumed that when this leak came out, they feared the worst. They feared that the mortals were going to lose to Zamasu and that Goku was going to have to call on Zeno, the Omni King, to arrive and clean up their mess for him. I don't believe that's what happens here. I don't think that's what happens. I think what happens is the mortals beat the mortal body, but because Zamasu has an immortal body, it's one of those things where it's kind of like in Marvel Comics. And I'm going to make another Marvel Comics comparison here in a minute. If you're not familiar with Marvel Comics, you might not get this, but it's kind of like how the Living Tribunal, sometimes when the balance of the universe is out of whack, they contact the Living Tribunal. If you went to go see Doctor Strange, you know what I'm talking about, the Living Tribunal stick and all. So in this case, one of those things where I think Goku may have come to terms with the fact that as mortals, they've done all they can do, and there's no way they can actually stop Zamasu's non-physical body, you know, the essence, the energy. So he pushes the button. Some people have a problem with this. I think if they do it that way, I'm okay with it. Goku's not one of those guys who likes to ask for help very often, but in this case, if you just can't fight somebody physically, you have to bring in something that's beyond, you know, your realm of ability, which is the Omni King. So I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. We'll see how it plays out. Let's go back to this and I'll break down a little bit more. The city and the people are real messed up. That's another reason why Goku is probably going to call on Zeno to fix the future, so to speak. You know, there's the victory thing. There's Gowasu. And there is the Omni King. He is going to appear in this episode with the black background. We will see him in the future. And that is Goku's buddy. At last, Trunks' world can find peace again. Goku's all shocked. They're shocked. I guess this is them returning to the past. I'm pretty sure this scene right here is going to be from the end of the episode. Did a really good job, Trunks. Here we have Whis and Beerus. Now, one thing that I think is deceiving us, guys, is that I honestly believe that this Whis and Beerus are actually future Whis and Beerus. I believe, this is one of my wacky predictions. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think that when Zeno goes to the future, here's what I think is going to happen. Here's my prediction, okay? Zeno is going to help Trunks use the Mafuba to seal the non-physical body of Zamasu into the sword. Now, I think that's what's going to happen. We know that the Mafuba is going to be used because there was an interview that came out a couple weeks ago where they said that the Mafuba will still be in play. So I do think that the evil containment wave is going to be used to seal Zamasu in that sword, or in that like piece of sword. And I think that this Beerus, I honestly believe, is future Beerus, because once Zamasu is sealed and the future is safe, we will then have the Omni King, I presume, repair the future, possibly resurrect Beerus or something like that, and also the 12 gods of destruction, because in the future, like the manga told us, which again, it's a different continuity, but it was talked about in the anime too, all the gods of destruction, the Kaioshin from the 12 universes, were killed by Zamasu, right? That's what happened, because he killed the Kaioshin. There's a god connection, and the rest of them died. So I think Zeno is going to have to do some cleanup in the future. I've heard some people say that they believe that Trunks is going to become a god of destruction of the future, or a god. I don't think that's going to happen. I think maybe he might get offered the position and he'll reject it, kind of like what Goku did. But one thing I will say about this arc, guys, is that I am very happy that Trunks is the one that gave the delivering blow. Even though I find it very hard to swallow that he's on the level of Vegito. In fact, I find it almost impossible to believe. Trunks is fucking Chuck Norris, guys. Still. Now, another thing I wanted to point out real quick. Next time on Dragon Ball Super. With new hope in our hearts, farewell, Trunks. So that pretty much tells us we're going to say goodbye to Trunks. New Hope. Okay, notice they spell it with the English words hope, Hope. This is, of course, because Trunks wrote Hope in English on the Time Machine. Of course, in the Dragon Ball Z anime, there was a mistake in both the sub and the dub that stated that Bulma wrote it, when in fact it was Trunks that wrote it. I did a video about that a few months ago. That was a huge error in the dub and even in the sub. That was corrected by K17. So it was Trunks that wrote Hope, but also the theme song for Trunks if you watch the Japanese History of Trunks special, is called Aoi Kaze no Hopu, which stands for the Blue Wind of Hope. So the word hope's always been kind of synonymous with Trunks. So there's Kid Trunks. They're all smiling, which means that, yeah, that pretty much tells us the arc is over. And we're probably going to get some kind of filler. But because they're saying farewell Trunks, that kind of bums me out, because I was really looking forward to seeing like Trunks having a party with the guys and, with the Z fighters, and seeing like, Mai and Trunks, maybe Trunks gonna give Mai his skin sword, ba-dum-bum. But yeah, that's what I think's gonna happen. Now for my wacky prediction, this is a wacky prediction. And again, if you're a fan of Marvel Comics, you're gonna get this one. I think what's gonna happen is, again, this is wacky. It probably won't happen, but I have the right to have a wacky prediction. I think what's gonna happen is Omni King is going to help Trunks Mafuba Zamasu into the sword. Then Omni King will create a new pocket universe, like Franklin Richards does in Marvel Comics. He will create a universe, put the sword in the universe, then destroy the universe, thus destroying the sword, therefore getting around the Super Dragon Ball's immortality trick. Again, that's my wacky prediction that I just popped in my head. I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. And, of course, let me know all of your predictions in the comments. Let me know what you think about this episode coming up. And, of course, if it is the end of the arc, I'm going to get together with a few other people and do a massive arc review. It might be a two-parter because there's a lot of episodes to cover, but it should be pretty damn epic, and we're going to go back and look at the entire arc over again, see if it was any good, but that's in the future. Meantime, let's do one episode at a time. Let me know what you think about episode 67 coming up, what your predictions are, and we'll have so much to talk about this week. It's going to be crazy. But anyways, thank you as always for supporting Geekdom 101. I'll talk to you guys later.